This game creates compelling gameplay that truly challenges players' tactical knowledge. However, every juggernaut eventually stumbles, and in this video, we're going to take a look at by far one of the most controversial close combat games in the series. But before we get started, if you like military strategy, tactics, and doctrine and seeing it applied to strategy games, this is definitely the channel for you, so make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon down below for free after action reports, and head on over to the community tab to participate in some compelling discussions. So simulating the grittiness and tactics of combat can be extremely challenging for most wargaming developers. But this developer has been at it for well over 2 decades, but it's stumbled throughout their time, and this is by far one of the most controversial games. This is Close Combat Modern Tactics, a game without a campaign, but it has multiplayer up to 5v5, something that I feel is truly needed for the series. We can see this happen in every form of media, though. Games often attempt to change who they're marketing to. Call of Duty's done this, Halo's done this. They've gone free to play. They've done everything in the world. Battle passes, loot boxes to both attract new players and new blood to the series. And that M1 tank is tearing people up, and I love it. But we're going to deep dive into this game to see if they hit their intended mark, right? Are we misinterpreting what this hidden gem, or this could possibly be a hidden gem? Once again, we have massive rifle squads. We have Bradleys on standbys. We have heavy machine. Oh, it just got destroyed. Our Marine Humvee just got completely destroyed right there. We have M1 tanks. We have a Marine LAV down here, which is completely raining down fire. So what is missing from this game? Why is this game so controversial? And why does the close combat community not enjoy this? Could it be that its first foray into modern combat was a mistake? Could it be that leaving the World War II era was something that the series shouldn't have done? Because ever since this game, they've tried new things. They've went from modern warfare back to World War II, and then from World War II to 3D, and both of these changes or pivots have not been well received by the community. The close combat community is definitely going to crucify me for a lot of these opinions, but a game that tries to modernize are going to make mistakes, and I think we need to cut, honestly, some developers a break when it can't move. When they make these changes, because oftentimes the community is just going to, in my opinion, possibly overreact a little bit, when in turn this game has everything that the close combat community was after. The gameplay is a bit faster, but it also has a lot more depth. The multiplayer is something that's desired in the community. All right? I keep going to the forums where they want PvE and PvP. There is PvP, but this is 5v5 and on some of the most fun maps I think I've ever played. And it also has some of the most unique and dynamic vehicles. Like in this battle alone, we have an LAV, we have a Bradley, we have a Humvee, we have mortars up here on standby, we have an M1A1 tank, we have M1A2s. Like, it's definitely has everything that a modern wargamer would like, and it's all in a 2D experience, currently on sale for $7 right now. However, this two-dimensional Titan foray into the modern era was a bit lackluster at best, and it still suffered from a lot of the same issues that were holding the series back. An outdated line-of-sight system that forced players to meticulously navigate the map. As you can see, discovering line-of-sight can be a bit challenging. However, they've worked out these issues in the World War II 3D, the Bloody First, which by the way is one of my guilty pleasures, on sale for $20 right now USD. So the troops are off. As you can see, one of the hardest things about this game is identifying your units. The camouflage is honestly so good that I struggle to find my own units sometimes, which is extremely unfortunate. But we can continue. Look at it. Oh my god, what's going on? We're gonna move this. It has a lot, just simple gameplay, simple menus, simple line of sight systems, all in a complex strategic package. It's one of those games that are always going to stand out if you give it the time, if you give it like room to breathe. And oftentimes that's not what communities want to do. They don't want to give new forays into new genres room to breathe and room to grow. They want to stand up and they want to crucify not just the developers, but what they've done to change the series. And oh, that this unit's now destroyed as well. Unfortunately, there is no zoom feature, which is also one of the. You guys were supposed to. Oh, you guys are popping smoke up here. This was a mistake. So, my question is, should we give? Why are you not engaging this building, bruh? Lay into them. Why are we not giving developers a chance to either create their vision when it's by far we get games like this, like standout games? And I know this game doesn't have a campaign. I can't really argue that fact with anyone that the game just is lacking a campaign, because at the end of it, there is no campaign, which is always going to hold a real-time strategy back. Yes, there's a hardcore dedicated community that currently loves PvP, but that's always a smaller portion because players are scared to play PvP. I've been looking for a PvP match and close combat, combat mission, Operation Flashpoint for a few days now, and I cannot find anyone willing to take me up on a PvP match. And I am not a fantastic player, right? I definitely lack a lot of probably the fundamentals needed to be successful at these games. We're going to fire on that position. But it's one of the things that separates these things. You're allowed to go 1v1, which creates a lot of stress for a lot of people, surprisingly. And that's just something that I think we all need to learn to handle on our own, is how to navigate the stress of being 1v1. But this one, you can play with your friends up to 5v5. So if you get 5 friends, you are going to have an absolute blast playing this game, because it's simple, it's cheap, and there's a lot of fun dynamics. And the close combat community definitely has a hardcore modding community that I really think a lot of people would like to join. And I really think a lot of people, would like to be a part of, we're looking for our mortar squads, that community, because it's going to provide them with a lot of fun. And they're going to create friends and just continue to grow. There's that smoke grenade finally coming out, so we can set up the C rifle flank. Once that smoke's up, we're going to flank in the building too. This platoon's going to provide fire support. Alright. Well, we're going to continue to hammer that building. But it's just one of the things that always stands out to me is a lot of players don't give games a chance. They truly should. And that's why I wanted to make this video. And that's why we're doing this Should You Buy series, is because there's a lot of hidden gems out there that players, Wargaming games are old. Like, they're going to be old. Operation Flashpoint, our game yesterday, is 10 years old, and the DLC's 15 years old. War in the East, West, War in the Pacific, some of these massive juggernauts. War in the East is fairly new, but War in the Pacific is pushing 15 years as well. All the John Tiller games, like, they're old, but they have hardcore dedicated communities, and they will continue to have those communities because these games are fantastic and fun to play. You can pick up Close Combat, any version of the series, and play it for less than $10 right now. I picked up 2 of them. Unless you play the Bloody First, which is a 3D, which we'll do a video on later, is just, you're going to have a blast if you just remove that overwhelming need to have the best graphics. Because even some of the massive titans, Age of Empires, like, a lot of these niche developers work jobs and develop games, which is wild to me. So unless you want to always play Age of Empires, which I fully support, I love Age of Empires as much as the next guy, I really think you're going to enjoy... Ooh, smoke's up. Move fast. Let's get these last 2 platoons into this building. You're going to miss out on a lot of games. So, we're going to continue to push this tank up. And especially games like this. Like, I've asked a million times if this game's worth buying. And after playing it, I'm like, man, I should have bought this game months ago. Because this is like M1A1s. You could... Granted, the AI is a bit bad. I'm not going to argue. Like, bad AI is just bad AI. You need friends if you really, truly want to challenge. But I'm not going to argue that fact. We're going to accept this truce in 10 seconds. It's just, it is what it is. When push comes to shove, Like if you want a truly genre-defying experience, you need to load up that PvP and get comfortable within your own skin and learning how to play it. And as always, there's actually a replay function in this game. We can click on like details, see all our units who are lost, the typical map. We can look at Op4, we can look at Blue 4, and then we can hit play replay, and it's going to do everything. But I really think the close combat series is something you should take a look at as a player, especially as a wargamer. And we're going to see right here why you also need to find friends to create some PvP matches with. So join that community tab, join the Discord. When I create a Discord, hit me up and maybe we can dive into some fun little PvP matches. Or we all might just have to play Age of Empires 4, right? Anyway, peace out.